All right, what's going on, y'all? Sorry about the technical difficulties. You know, it's one of those things when you say too much, they try to shut you down. We were talking that good game, and they try to shut us down. So now we're going guerrilla style. So what happened? We got guerrilla style. We go things to the phone, and you see the moon and the universe right in the background. So I got my
Yeah,
man Ras here in the building, and to track back to what we were saying, man. Um, the question I want to ask you, you already gave me the answer when you got your wake up call when you said you had enough of the system and you started expressing your frustration. Um, with that being said, a two-part, well, it's a three-part question, but I'll start with part one. Um, what was I think you answered already, but I want to get backtrack on this. What was your reaction when you spoke to your family and said, "Yo, I don't believe in this system. I don't believe in this communism, and I feel as though this system is oppressing us."
well, my first question to my father, because I have to say, my city, Camilo Cienfuegos City, is the city close to the Morro, La Cabaña, when Che Guevara killed the people. So that city is near. So that city was for rich people that when Castro government go in, these people go to United States. So this apartment Castro give to different kind of communist people. In those kind of communist people, all the black people that live here, there was a communist. That's why I burned in that city. All the black one that burned there, his parents, they was a black communist. After, most of them changed, like me. And before, different kind of black people, they change and they get ¿cómo se llama eso? Acto de repudio. How do you say it in English? Acto de repudio.
Like an act of a republic. I have to check that out. But
It's when you say fuck Castro, fuck government, and all the people go to your house and try to.
oh, so it's like it's like a military. It's like a military folks that come.
Yeah, but it's your own neighborhood. Communist
Okay, so
neighborhood, they go
it's
to your
like
house.
is it like the neighborhood snitch to an
Yeah,
extent?
like CDR, like the CDR, they go to your
Gotcha.
house when you start to against the government, the CDR, because you have
Yeah.
you have CDR anywhere you go. Anywhere you go, you have a CDR office. They have the list of every people that live inside the house. For example, if you have a 3-person, they have your name because those 3 names they go to the list in the book that they go to get the food. So
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
same
My
time,
mother told me about that.
CDR have the
My mother told me the list about the books and the food.
yeah.
Yeah, my mother told me about that. Yeah.
The book is with the CD. Is at the same with the CDR and the PCC because the PCC have the control of all nations. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so when somebody he didn't go to get his food, then hey, what's up with that man? He don't come to get his food. Maybe somebody come to take the food for him, or we don't know. So when the time passed, they will see that the person left the country, so they touch a person of that book, and the
Wow.
person and her family can get no more that food. So,
Yeah.
you know, so they
It,
have
it, was-
all
it was the food supply was very limited at the time.
yeah.
So okay.
So uh, that's the thing for every people that talk about government against government. You will get that. You will get that. Every people will be against you.
Yeah.
So when me start with my father, me say, Father, why why I cannot travel the world? Because my father, he went to Soviet Union because there was a communist. And my father, he want to my family to go to left Cuba. He was thinking to left Cuba. My family left Cuba and live in Soviet Union. So
Yeah.
the government don't let my mom and my brother and my sister go because it was a black people. And my mom was pregnant of me. I was inside. But
Okay.
I give thanks to Jah. I'm born in Cuba because my mission was to be this reggae singer of Rasta for all Cuba. So I don't want to be I don't wanted to be a Russian man, you know, a black Russian. Oh no, no, no. So
Amen. Amen to that. Amen
that,
to that.
that was one of the questions to my father. And after me said, Father, you have to leave that PCC, man. Look at yourself. You don't have no good money to live yourself. You don't have good money to buy my my clothes or new shoes. What I can get good shoes? No, because no, this country's no. I may start to change. And my father started to go with me to see my shows. After my father started to sell alcohol, rum to people, for the people, because the money is not enough from the
Yeah.
government. And that time was very early for people to start against the government, because the most of the hero was in jail.
Mm.
And there was a black man. Most of there was a black man. That's why all prison in Cuba, they're full of black people, because there is the poor people in Cuba asking about freedom, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for freedom. Most of the population is black people for that reason.
Yeah.
So the people don't see that.
So so with that being said, what year do you left the country? What year do you left the country?
I left the country for this kind of reason. First,
No, what year? What year? What year? What
oh,
year?
what year? 2000. Well, in 2004, I was in Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam.
Oh, so you
We went to
went on
uh,
the other side before you came out here. Oh, you
yeah,
went. All
yeah.
right. That's a typical Cuban story. When they don't have any family in Miami, they go to Europe. I realize that. A lot of y'all just
That's that's the thing that the people don't know yet. That don't see deep. All black man population, they live in Europe, and all the Cuban black man, they live in Europe, and all the Cuban white man, they live in Miami.
yeah, it's very interesting because you will think. When I had the professor on the show, he told me his story. So before he left to the States, I think he went to Italy, and then to Italy he lived in Mexico, and then Mexico
Okay.
he went to Miami. So you would think this is our struggle, and I gotta say this. I don't mean to interrupt, but this is our biggest struggle. We are 90 fucking miles away from the United. We are 90 miles away from freedom, and to think, in order for us to get that close, we have to go to the other side of the world to get that freedom, and then go all around in a circle to be in the States. And
Yeah.
there's so many stories you get to that. It's so astonishing that you come across these Cuba. Because, if you come here, like from Cuba to the States, either because you want the lottery, or you know a family member, or you just said, whatever, I'm just going to go get a refrigerator and some tires and just go to this boat and see if it takes me to freedom. But then you got people that don't have that kind of, that certain things happen to them and they just can't go straight. They have to go to like another continent, not even another continent, to figure things out, and then like a zigzag, and then they have to go straight to the States. And some of them end up going to Mexico, or go to Costa Rica, or go to Panama, and then they have to like make that walk to the States. It's incredible, man.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect example, like I told you behind the scene. We are some fucking Brazilian people. We just are not quit. We don't quit. We don't get. We have an ultimate determination, and it's not even a black or white thing now with Cuba. It's just like, if you feel as though you got a system that oppress you and you got to get out of that shit, I'm like, fuck it. I don't care what.
I don't care.
I don't care anymore. If I have to go to the moon, if I got to get a spaceship to go to Mars, and then go to Mars to see some aliens, and then with them aliens, I'll go down there. Fuck it.
It's true.
And I had it up to here with the system. The system got me up to here.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
It's incredible,
they
man.
want to hang on every time.
It's incredible, man.
Incredible.
So I'll ask you this question, because I always ask all my Cuban guests, and I always get incredible answers out of that. What was it like, once you leave Cuba and you got to go to your journey to come to the States? So you go to one extreme, which is communism, and then you come to a country which is the United States of America, where they give you like this opportunity and this freedom of speech that you don't get to have in Cuba. And you see like this whole different outlook that, because you live in Cuba, they not only suppress the information, they also control the narratives. So you can't even have like self-knowledge to see what's really going on because they control everything. So what was that like when you come to, from your journey, leaving Cuba, Amsterdam, and then you come to the States and you see this whole different new lifestyle?
Well, it's like every Cuban when never been in different country. I met Amsterdam when I was 30 years old, 30 or 31 years old, when I went to Amsterdam. I was sorry, I was like,
Want some water? You want to get some water, brother?
I
Get some water?
I was like, one clad. I'm in Amsterdam. I can smoke free. I can go anywhere. I can listen good reggae music for free. I can speak with different people all over the world. Say, what kind of freedom? But what kind of system? I saw too much black people. Amsterdam full of black people everywhere. You can see black people everywhere. I say, man, what kind of different? So when we come back to Cuba, the same thing from black people. Hey, Coco, why you come back? Why you come back? I know why I coming back. I know that I have to do something. But I stay in Cuba 1 year. I may go to Mexico in 2000 and 2005. I may stay in Mexico for 1 year. I may go to US 2007. I may stay in US for like 10 years or 11 years. At the same time, I was crossing to Mexico border, me stay here. And I have my daughter in US. She's American. I love her. I miss her. I want to see her. My pretty Rita Leilani. She have 12 years old. So, I said, I never coming back to Cuba no more. Because first, before meeting, he said, I don't want to make picnic them, babies. I don't want to make babies in Cuba. This country don't deserve to me to leave my seed in Cuba, because will be suffer, and I will be suffer at the same time, because I will be far, and I know I will never coming back. And at the same time, my mom, she's a communist, and she's interested on the dollars, and she's interested on imperial money. So you are communist, so you want dollars. So at the same time, she have hypocrisy with my sister and my nephew. They live in Texas. They're living in Texas.
Yeah.
And she decided to select different kind of your songs, or your sons, your daughter or son, because she saved more money. So she decided to love more one or different, So for that reason, I said, Mama, go. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you no more. Go. Don't talk with me no more, So I was ready for all that kind of things, because I was prepared, because I get the light long time. That's why I saw black man slavery before. I said, no. That's why I say inside, I have to continue with my reggae music, because I know I'm the only Rastafarian from my country to put reggae music on the reggae music culture straight but I know I have a lot of mission to do it, but I have to go. I have to leave Cuba and never coming back. Never coming back. I'm start with a mission with different kind of people in the world, different kind of brother like you, like other kind of Jamaican people that they support me too, because Jamaican Jamaicans they love Castro, but they few of them they support me on the music. That's why I said I say thank you, thanks to Jamaican people that support me. But I will open fire to all Jamaican that think about Castro and Che Guevara. There's no different for me. So that's one of the reasons, brother, why I left Cuba, never coming back, and we never coming back no more until this white government disappeared. You know?
Yeah, and you know that's the part. That's the part that makes me. That's the part that makes me depressed because here's the thing. I was born here in the States, but I grew up amongst a lot of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. And I always tell the story with every Cuban guest that comes here. When I was younger, all my friends that lived in the state that was Puerto Rican or Dominican, they always went to the native island because even though they were here and they were very Americanized, their parents made a conscious decision that even though you live here, you need to go back to your island, because they have grandparents that live there, they have family members, aunts. And they were like, even though you live here, you need to come to here, you need to come to this island to be more familiar with your culture. So you need to be familiar, how to speak not only Spanish, but learn the food, the culture, the history, all this other stuff. Now, mind you, I was born here, but to this day, I've never gone to Cuba. I've never gone to Cuba. And that's a lot of Cubans that were born here. They haven't gone. Or if they did, that they when they were like 5 or 6 years old, and they never went back. My parents left Cuba. My mom and dad left Cuba, never went back. My grandfather, right now, he doesn't have the best condition right now, and he always wanted to come back, but his health is unfortunately deteriorating. And by the looks of things, he's gonna not make it to go back to Cuba. So it's just that's the part that kills me, that you have a lot of people that just willing to risk it all to not only leave the island that you were born, but you leave your culture, you leave your family, you leave your childhood if you grew up there, your whole if you're an adult, because there's people they're adults, they leave everything behind. And that system is such a evil, corrupt place that they really, really make you choose either you're with us, the revolution, but it's not really a revolution, it's the bullshit government, it's a bullshit government, or your family, or whatever the case may be. And they do such a great job manipulating people that they brainwash the people. They brainwash them to say that if you don't aren't agreeing with us, you're a traitor, you're a backstabber, you're against the revolution, which is not really the revolution, the government, you're against that government.
Yeah.
And that's the part that just makes me want to cry and just scream up in the air, that you can't believe that you're in that we're living in a world that you have a country that is so corrupted and so evil that they won't even let you have an opinion. They won't even let you have some kind of freedom to say, you guys suck. Like they really think they're God. They have a godlike complex.
Exactly. That's why in Cuba, the first thing that the government will tell you if you go to the television, the first they will tell you, don't speak here about God.
Mm-hmm.
And they will see you that you are Rasta. The second, don't speak here about Haile Selassie. It's the two words that they say. They will start to tell you the first time if you go into his office. And that's why we call it and dum because when we start to them, they say that to me. So when we start to them, they don't understand Patois. So when we start in the camera, don't speak here about God. Don't speak here about Selassie. No. Okay. Start the music. Greetings in the name of the Almighty, Selassie, I cannot keep on the God Almighty. They don't understand nothing. So anyway, they don't know now. They don't understand. They just if you say it slowly, No, say Lassie, oh, we attack you, but then all of a sudden if you say faster, no? I'm gonna start to say faster, then they don't understand nothing. But you know, they don't want Rastafari on the television. They don't want reggae on the radio station. They don't want
Yeah.
they don't want nothing. So
And then you have to look at the racial aspect out to too, because anything that's related to Rastafarian and is label and is like connected with blackness is either dirty, is criminal, is
it's nasty.
underworld.
It's nasty.
It's like the worst of the worst.
Yeah, the worst of the world. Yeah, the worst of the world. That's why I don't understand when I see too much black communist Pan-African. They have murder. I mean, I understand the thing. They need to stop.
And
Need to stop.
okay. Well, so with that being said, I have to talk to this real quick because I didn't want to bring it up, but since you said that, I will bring it up. You sent me something, and regarding, I'm not gonna say their names because I don't think they're worth mentioning their names, but I follow them online. Two ladies.
Yeah.
One who talks a lot of pro-blackness, but you see them going back and forth to Cuba promoting some weird, you know who I'm talking about. You sent me the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, and the thing about it, I like her. I follow her online. I like her and I like her content. But and when July 11th happened, she was actually like supporting the movement. So now I kind of find it weird that she supported the movement, and then 2 years later, she's supporting traveling to go to Cuba and sending money to the regime.
Because she make business in Cuba. I didn't see her. I'm gonna introduce you to my brother. He's a white guy, but he's a white guy that the black man discriminate him because he's a white man that he was growing up with all black man in hip hop music in Cuba. He know everything. Even the man, he get married in Ethiopia. And, at the same time, that Ethiopian woman, he tried to destroy him. And that another Ethiopian woman, she went to Cuba too to use a black Cuban there too. So it's a black rappers, black American in Cuba, and black Ethiopians in Cuba. ¿Cómo se dice? Robando, thief.
Thief, robando, stealing.
Black American and black Ethiopian girls in Cuba stealing all the black things. So you know what they do? They bring food to black people, and at the same time they bring. She's brainwashed because they know that black man need food, and they come. Oh, I come from US. Oh, I come from Ethiopia. I got dollars. So the black man, they know that the black man have hungry, but what they want to spend his money for cheaper. They're gonna look for Cuban white black man, right? A poor black man, and they want to give some money to food to say, oh, I am your brother, so help me to enjoy Cuba, help me to spend the money for a little bit. I will give you something. I will give you a T-shirt if you want shoes or something, but they don't say when they come back to US, they don't say the truth.
Yep.
They want to come back to Cuba again like a tourist again to enjoy it again. You know, they don't say the truth of black nation. That's why we starting a fire.
And this is why, I mean, I live in Boston, so unfortunately I got this bad luck that you have a lot of college professors. They go to Cuba for 2 weeks and now they become the expert of Cuba. And they talk about the why things are going on the way they are and why the system is oppressed, and they blame America. And this is the thing, I'll tell you right, this is the thing that fucking just irritates the fuck out of me. You have people that are not Cuban go to our country and then they become the expert of Cuba. Once they live there, they go there for 2 weeks and they think they have all the resolution, the answer, and they don't talk to us. They don't talk to the Cuban community. They don't talk to anybody that lived through the experience. They don't go to people within our culture. They become, and it's so funny because when it comes to their struggle, you know, if it's something about the gay community, they bring a gay person. If it's something about immigrants, they bring an immigrant. If it's talking about black oppression, they bring a black person. But when it comes to Cuba, they bring a Dominican, they'll bring a Mexican, they'll bring a college professor, they'll bring a politician that has some weird agenda against us. They'll
Yeah.
bring an alien, they'll bring a teddy bear, they'll bring anybody except for the people that actually lived through this experience.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you a story right now. Last year, because this story, like my mom, like she knows that I'm like, I'm a little bit. I don't want to say that I'm happy, because I don't wish bad things on people, even if I don't like them. But I do believe in the strong thing of karma. So when you see people doing bad things and something bad happens to them, it's like,
we happy, you know. If it wasn't bad,
you look
I'm
back.
happy, man. I don't care, man, because they are happy when the good people they
So whatever.
I'm happy.
I'll tell you the story right now. Last year we did a manifestation for July 11th. The people in Boston. So we had a manifestation, and then we found out that same day that we had a manifestation, we had people in the city council trying to talk about lifting the embargo up for the Cuban government. And then we found out that months prior before that, there were people from the regime coming to Boston trying to influence these people to help them lift the embargo. So this is what the regime's been doing in the United States. The Cuban regime, they've been coming to certain like major cities that have influence. So because they can't get to the upper level, they're starting for the lower level. So they'll go for the city council, then from the city council, they go to the mayor, then to the mayor, they'll go to the state representative, then the governor, and then they try to, lift it up to see if it goes to the president, to see if they can lift the embargo. So they had this meeting. Out of all days, they had it on July 11th to try to lift this fucking embargo. So the Cuban committee wrote a letter to the city council to say, you need to listen to the community and why you shouldn't do this. And they pretty much said no. They gave us the middle finger and said, no, we're going to do this. And they said you guys had enough time to plead your case, but no one from the community knew about it. So I have the video. When you have the video, it's the same thing I just showed you 2 minutes ago. You see this video, and I saw a Dominican, I saw a Haitian, I saw a Cape Verdean, I saw a Brazilian, I saw a churchgoer, I saw a scientific guy, I saw a doctor, I saw everybody but a Cuban. And then the one Cuban that we saw there that was working within, there was one Cuban that was working within their favor. This guy is like, yeah, I'm Cuban through like my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather. So that made me Cuban. He hasn't been Cuban in 4 generations, but he became the representative to say why she lift the embargo.
Hypocrite.
So long story short, we go there, and the person that was leading this thing shut us out. She did not want to hear us. And here's the thing: the day that happened, this is the hypocrisy of politics in government. The day that this happened, there was this thing called they were celebrating called Black African Women Day. So you had all these black people, black women representing Africanism and blackness. So you had all these people talking about, if you see racism or discriminatory stuff, you need to be an ally and speak against oppression or any type of oppression that goes on. But when it came to us, they said, fuck y'all, we're not gonna listen to your oppression and we're gonna go with our agenda. And the people, and this is why I don't even believe in people anymore, because the majority who voted against us, they weren't even white. They were black, Latinos. They were the people that were white were on our side. We had the minority, but the white people that understood our struggle were on our side. And the people that were black and brown, or whatever the fuck they want to rep, they were not on our side. So not to drag the story, fast forward a year later, the woman that's leading this whole thing to work against the government, she got into a car accident.
Oh.
She got into a car accident this year. And during this car accident, and mind you, this is why I believe in the universe. Last year, around this time, she denied us, and then the following year, which is this year, at this time, she got into a car accident. She crashed into a house. She had no license. She hadn't had a license in over 10 years. She had no car insurance. She had no car inspection. She had no registration. Like, she was driving illegally. She had a kid in the car, and the kid didn't have the baby seat. Like, the woman was driving like illegally, and she was caught speeding. and she got into she's in a whole lot of trouble right now. But this is why I am a firm believer that you cannot use your power for evil, because when you use your power for evil, certain things will happen to you, and the universe will come at you very, very fast. It will come at you really, 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 really fast.
Even Father, we back for her. If she make a deal with the evil, the evil will be back. We'll be back for the deal.
100%. 100%.
So I'm sorry. I didn't sorry for her. I said, it's your turn.
Que se joda, a los foques,
que se joda, say, because
ella sabe lo que está haciendo. Ella sabe.
Ella sabe lo que está haciendo, como las demás saben lo que están haciendo, y pronto vamos a hablar de otros hombres también. Aquí hablamos de pero bueno, por ahora salieron esas hermanas esas mujeres negras que están engañando a los cubanos, entrando ahí, haciendo cosas de hip hop y eso. Pero te voy a presentar a otro hermano que te hablé, que se llama Manny. Él tiene fotos, él tiene videos, él tiene todo, te puede decir todo. Y él está allá en los Estados Unidos también.
Claro, I'll be honored. I don't mind having him on the show. So just to fast forward, I'm bringing it full circle because you told me an hour ago. Can you please tell the story to my audience? You know how Castro was trying to was trying to go and kill Selassie?
Oh, yes. In 1974, well, me born in 1974.
Yeah.
But in 1974, Fidel Castro, he went to Ethiopia with Mengistu Haile Mariam. So Mengistu Haile Mariam, he was a communist. He was a family, Selassie. He was a family, one part of the family, but he was a communist mentality. So he bring Fidel Castro to Ethiopia against him with Israel and Cuba. They went against Haile Selassie, the King of Kings. That's why Selassie disappeared. You know, and he sent black people against Haile Selassie. He sent black people to Africa. Why? Because what is the best plan for you to kill black man? To send black man, because if he send a white man, a black man will see a white man from far. Look, the white man there, boom, boom, you know. He sent black man against black man in Africa. That's why he sent black man to Ethiopia, Angola, Granada, Quito Cuanaval, all that type of shit. And at the same time with that word is Che Guevara and thing, all that shit, you know. And black man, Pan-African, they get revolution words and the white man words to find for black man freedom. And they don't know nothing about Cuban black man freedom in Cuba. Because Cuba, black man in Cuba is never is free. So,
no, never.
So they need to stop that kind of hypocrisy. We need to stop them. You know, we are tired. We are tired, brother.
And here's the thing too, man. Like when I started doing my thing, you know, I mean, it's incredible because I did my thing on Instagram and I spoke to somebody, told me to do it on TikTok. So when I did my thing on TikTok, like I ended up having a new audience that I wasn't even expecting. Like it hit big once I did my stuff on TikTok. So you have people, and a part of me, I spoke to one of my friends about this. Like I think a part of me, it got me thinking that the Cuban government wants everything like on a hush and quiet, and to make sure that no one knows their corruption, because if they don't know their corruption, they could still be corrupt. So I had to put a video up of what the hell I put a video up of? Oh, I put a video of Gracia, one of the Gracia video that went viral the first time or whatever. So I decided to put it again. And then there was a guy who didn't know what was going on. And then he told me, where's the Cuban government? Where's Fidel Castro and his thing and his army to like fill this thing up to like help black people? And I told him, Castro never cared about black people. And I was really trying to I'm sorry. Not only he doesn't care about black people, but Castro has been dead for the last 7 years. And the guy replied back, he's been dead for 7 years. I thought he was still alive. So that's how people are so far like not in the know of Cuba, because there's people that still think that Castro is still alive in 2023, and it's so under the radar that no one knows the corrupt system that goes on there. So Cuba wants people under the radar. This way, no one knows their evil ways. And the worst thing that could ever happen to them was the internet, because they I mean, even though they do what they do, they can't control the narrative the way they used to. And now the world knows that they're lying. You know, it's no longer the people in Miami. The people thought when things happened that it was like just people in Miami that was complaining, and people they're not in the known of what happens, that they forget there's Cubans in Canada, there's Cubans in Mexico, there's Cubans in Europe, there's Cubans in Africa, there's Cubans in Asia, and we're all saying the same fucking thing. We're all saying the same shit. Get Miami. Pretend Miami doesn't exist. Pretend it doesn't exist. So you think the people in Boston are not saying the same shit? You think the Cubans in California are not saying the same thing? You think the Cubans in Panama, all over the world, are saying like we're having a problem with this system, and this is why I left, not because of fucking embargo.
Exactly, because we don't have embargo. The people know that the chicken come from US.
Yeah.
Chicken come from US.
We sent $300 fucking million to them. What the fuck?
Yeah. So
and it goes to the fucking tourists. That's another thing. It goes to the tourists. Doesn't goes to the people. It goes to it goes to the regime, the good people that we hate, the good boys that we hate the regime, the tourists, and then whatever's left over, it goes to the people. But
there is only one solution to say that there is not embargo. Why Cuba, they have the dollar like the money of Cuba?
Worthless. It's worthless. We have the worthless currency in the fucking world.
Cuba is dollars, right? So
worthless.
Embargo. They are using the money of USA. So where is the embargo? For me, embargo is like, don't use money, don't play music, nothing in English, no chicken, no nothing. That's, for me, it's a real embargo. For me, that's the real embargo. No nothing, no playing, no nothing.
And unfortunately, another thing that they do is like they hold our family hostage, hiding under the facade, thinking that, you know, we got to help our family because they're starving. We got to send them this, we have this and that, not knowing that that government is holding they kidnapped our family. And they say, you want to see them? Send them this money, send them this clothes, send them these toys, send them the refrigerator, send them whatever they need or whatever they be.
That's why we said that the communists, they always joke with the feeling of Cuban people.
Yeah.
Because they touch the feeling of mom. Send money to mom. Send everything for your mom, and nobody attack the feminine communists. They attack a masculine.
Because the women the women know how to get you with la conciencia, the conscience, to say, "Ay, pobrecita, can you send me this? Ay, can you?"
But how many black women they are bomb-clad police, bomb-clad fiscal, bomb-clad CDR,
beat them, killed them, went to jail, tortured them. And then they use them for, you know what I mean, for the sympathy and the compassion. Like, ay, yo sé que tú estás trabajando ahí en los Estados Unidos, yo sé que tú estás luchando con tu vida, pero te rompió la nevera.
Dale, negra, perra, comunista, esclava, quédate con esa gente y no busques dinero en los Estados Unidos. Pídele el peso cubano ese a ellos, dale, descarada, para acá no pidas nada ni llores nada. Dale, que nosotros somos los malos, nosotros somos los mercenarios, no pidas nada para acá, dale. Pídele a esa gente, quédense allá, bola de negra, esclava.
Y como nosotros somos los malos, la mano de la película, pues que busca ahí la revolución que te ayude.
Que te ayude la revolución, dale. Si nosotros cuando le dábamos un peso o lo que sea, le decíamos, oye, pero eso ya está malo. No, pero no me hable de eso, no me hable de eso. Ah, no te hable de eso. Bueno, no nos hable de dinero. Y si la cosa ya está mala, bueno, pon la buena tú.
100%.
La cosa está mala, pon la buena tú.
Y ya.
Y ya,
Y
no
ya,
pidan nada para acá, muéranse
y
allá.
que te la busca, y te la busca como tú puedas,
Búsquensela como puedan. No
como
pidan nada
puedas.
para acá. Bola
Yeah.
descarada, interesada, toda.
And and
Basura.
and to bring up, I want to share a quick story on the racial aspect and the indoctrination. Um, my mother did the podcast. My mom did the podcast a couple of years ago when July 11th happened, and she told me the story, and I didn't know this until the podcast happened, and then it happened again to me when I went to Washington D.C. to support the Cubans. My mom told me the story that when she came to the United States, she was afraid because they were showing these videos of like white people beating up black people and like the church bombings and the dogs attacking people and the water hose getting sent or the case or you had to be home before 11 o'clock because if not the cops are going to come after you. And this is my mom came here in the 80s. This is like early 1982, 83 or the case they So my mom was with my dad and she like, well, I see a lot of black people hanging out here, just listening to music. They're walking around, KBB. So when my mom moved to the States, there was a combination of like Puerto Ricans and black people. So she would talk to the Puerto Rican for like, yo, don't they beat black people? I'm saying stuff like, no, they haven't done that for 20 years right now. They've been okay with us. And it was like, wow, these they fucking lie. And I talked about this on the first episode because I did an episode. I'll send it to you. I did my first episode I did that was video wise. I did it with Gracia, and we talked about this. I did an episode with nothing but black Cubans, and we had these stories. And when I went to Washington, one of the things that my mom was like kind of disappointed. She was kind of disappointed with us, and with us I mean the black Cubans. But like we should be here because we've been through this more than the white people, and we should be more vocal on what's going on because we've been through the worst case of scenario. Not to say that our white counterparts haven't been oppressed the way we've been oppressed, but it's just different and our voice has been silent because you have other people saying our voice. So when we went to Washington, D.C., we went there for a whole week, but I remember there was a Sunday, and that Sunday when I went there, it was like a Cuban black unity. Like that was like the most black Cubans I ever seen in my whole life, literally. And I was talking to people that was between the ages of my age, my mother's age, and my grandfather's age. But because of I know for a fact I have an old soul because I like being around old people. I just love being around because they have so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so much history, and they just have a story to tell. And once they hit a certain age, they just said, fuck it, said I'm not gonna be here much longer. Let me say what the fuck I need to say because nothing's gonna do what's gonna stop me now. What the fuck's gonna stop? Who's gonna stop me now? Fuck it.
Nobody can
So I met a lot of old elder Cubans that were black, and they all said the same thing. They were like, I wanted to leave in I met a woman that said, I wanted to leave in 1965, 70, but the Cuban sister said, I can't go because the white man will kill me. I can't go to this spot because, the Ku Klux Klan is going to come after me if I drop. And they were using these assholes was using videos from 1947, 48, and they kept using it for like till the 1980s, just spreading this lie to the people. And then because it was limited information, with my grandfather, he just said, I don't care. I'd rather my grandfather, he left. He left around the same time my mother left. And he said, fuck it, I'd rather figure it out than deal with this system because this system is not giving me opportunity. So if I have to if a white man beats me up or if a dog, I'm fighting. But this, I cannot, I'll risk that. And then they come here in a later time and they find out it's completely different. It's not what they painted out to be.
Exactly.
And you see how not only how evil the regime is, but you see how much of an indoctrination they did amongst our people. Because with white people, they could probably they can't control them, but they figure with us and we're like the underdog, and we just unfortunately we have an extreme poverty level. They'll have the white man say like, well, look, I gave you this, I gave you that, I gave you a broken TV, I gave you some broken clothes. You should be grateful because this white Cuban gave you this. And if you go to America, this is what's going to happen. If you go to America, you're going to have the Ku Klux Klan killing you. So pick your options.
Yeah, and this is exactly the plan of those white motherfucker government communists, because when they talk about Ku Klux Klan in US and all that type of thing, that's why they get black man and then put black man in la file and los chivadones. They say, black man, come here because in US you will be slave, but they will kill you. Come with me. And that's why you see black man police, but we see a black man, we see black man never will be a president in Cuba, you know, because they have this brainwash of US that in US they will kill you, we die for hungry. And you see now the black man slave in Cuba. And at the same time, what happened with the black from America? They don't go to Cuba. Few of them, 3, 4, 5, 10, almost 100 black American, they will go to Cuba. But most of them, they are white. Go to Cuba to enjoy it. So when most of black people, they go to Cuba, they will see more black people rough because they are American. They know that in Miami is full of white Cubans. They know that Miami is white Cubans.
Yeah.
They know that Miami is not a black Cuban living in Miami.
They know.
White Cuban already.
And it's easy. But
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem. That's why they see. That's why when white man go to Cuba, when they go to Cuba, they see, wow, I didn't know that Cuba there is a lot of black man. They know.
Let me tell you something, Raz. Let me tell you something, Raz. I just finished doing the movie. It's coming to come out next month. And the director, that's my man. Love him to death. That's my brother right there. And you know, when I was in high school, everybody called me Cuba because they didn't know that I was actually Cuban. They thought I was either Dominican or Black American. So he told me that, and he was like, "Yo, you're like the first Black Cuban I ever met. I didn't know there was Black Cubans out there. I thought there was just nothing but white Cubans out there." And you know, and I don't fault him because that's the information he was giving to them. And again, I live in Boston. There's not too many of us that look like me out here. But I'm telling you, we exist. And what was dope about it when I did the movie, like he let me get control of a couple of things. So he was looking for like a Latin cop. So I spoke Spanish, so I was able to do that. So I was like, look, can I be Cuban? And like, you could do whatever the fuck you want. I just want you to speak Spanish in these scripts, so you could do this movie. And so I played a Cuban cop. So if you watch the movie, I dropped a lot of subliminal like message, you know, just showing solidarity with the Cuban people. You representing like the struggle. So what's good about that, he didn't know what I was talking about when I did that. But if you're Cuban, if you watch the movie, you knew what I meant once you watch the movie and you see like the representation I'm doing for the people.
I know what you mean. You know why? Because when we went to USA and we start to live in Miami, and you start to walk in the street, all the Cuban, they would think that I am from another country, or they think that I'm from a black American, because they are adapted to see just white Cuban in Miami.
Yeah.
So 100%, you know, why they think, why
Yeah.
the own Cuban, why in Miami they think that we are Black American.
Yeah, it's a confusion, and you have the people, the powers that be, controlling the narrative. That's why I keep saying the internet is the worst thing that could happen, because they can't control the narrative. They can control over there if they want to, but even that becomes difficult because people are learning how to navigate towards the system. But now we are learning to take charge over the situation. We are learning how to like not only manipulate their movement, but we also spread the real word on what's going on, and nothing could stop it. Nothing could stop it. So I'm loving every minute of it. So I know we've been talking about a lot of revolutionary stuff out here and pro-blackness, and I'm loving every minute of it, man. I want to get to the music. I want to get to the music, man, because
Okay.
you're talking that shit, brother. You're talking that shit. I'm gonna like I told you earlier on, I'm gonna put some joints on the station. But one of
Thank
the
you.
joints that you had that I played it and I smile because it was a very the way I took it, it was a very not comical, but it was very sarcastic, very snarky, very like middle finger to you, but it came out in a very Rastafarian classic way. Um, the joint I'm gonna play this Friday was Varadero de los Blancos.
Oh yeah, man.
Okay, it gave me it was not only a reggae vibe, but it gave me
I'm gonna
like
explain. I'm gonna
a
explain it.
1950 like a
I'm,
1950-ish
I'm gonna explain
doo-wop.
it at you.
So yeah, so what was behind that?
You know that song is a sample that I make, original from Los Zafiros from Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
That's only from Zafiros from Cuba. There was a black man that they died without no solution because when Castro government go to Cuba, they disappear. But maybe you heard about them, the Zafiros. There was a five person black people. They were singing at the same time when in the time of Beatles, the time of Beatles. The Zafiros. After I will show you, it was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not familiar with that. So
It was a good. So
let me give him
when you hear what Mr.
yeah.
They are, no?
Okay.
They
All
are.
right. I want to get some of that when
I'm gonna send you the link, man, because there was
yeah. Please do. Please
singer.
do.
One of them
Please
sing
do.
like a woman, you know, a
Oh,
chino.
really?
Woman,
Really?
that boy. Oh man, no man, man. It was a nice group, or it was a 4 or 5 person. They sing good, man. I'm gonna show you. Even you can see the movie of the Zafiros, Locura Azul. Locura Azul. That's the name of the movie.
Okay. Send me that link. I'm gonna see. Do they have it online?
I think it's a lie. Yeah,
All
Locura
right.
Azul.
Send me the name of that, and I'll definitely do my research on that.
Zafiro Locura Azul.
Okay. All
There's
right.
the real life of Zafiros. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Bet.
Oh, that's a nice song, but I have too much fire music. I have too much fire music.
Yeah.
But that song is
You. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no problem. That song is dedicated to the people that don't understand that Baradero is only for a white man, because a black man, if you go to Baradero, you have to be a musician. You have to be something. If you don't have something like this, you can go in, because you will be like Ginetero. You will be like Ginetero, and
Yeah.
you will see his own black police over you.
Yeah. And to my listeners there, Jinetero is pretty much like a Cuban prostitute. You know, we go.
Yeah.
For the ones that don't know, I'm gonna give you a little bit of Cuban slang out there. For those that don't know, Jinetera is unfortunately it's a prostitute. That's another problem we have in Cuba. You have a lot of people, especially from Canada and European countries, they go to Cuba because they have cheap sex labor out there.
Yeah.
The government knows about it, but they want to be hush hush because there's money coming along. So
Yeah.
you have people, sick men
And they are
men going after these children,
and
to
they
get sick pleasure out of it.
and they are not Ginetero. The real Ginetero is the white man government, because this is the people that they are look for money for different kind of countries,
Yeah.
different kind of country looking for money, and looking for money, talking with a different kind of politician for money. The poor people is not Ginetero. The poor people is looking for money. It's looking for
money.
for
But
money.
the government won't let them get the money because they control the money.
They
So
control the money, so they are
they
big
control it.
Gineteros. So,
Yeah.
so
I also want to get to another joint. You know what I mean? I want to get to some of your songs because I want to play them on the station. So I know Little Blanco is one of them that I want to play. And there's one called there's a few they're between well, the one I want to play too is Labios Rojo.
oh, Labio Rojo, ah, nice reggae.
Yeah. What was that one gives me like a real reggae vibe to it. That is a reggae song,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
But
yeah.
can you break down to my audience like what that song's about? Because I was digging that joint when I went to
Yeah,
your with the Scar
I
last
can
week.
show you more. That music I made with my backing band from Jamaica because I am the only Hispanic black with Jamaican bands only. You can see different kind of reggae singer in Spanish in different kind of the world with backing band, but not with Jamaican only behind. Just me.
Yeah.
You know, it's Cuba.
Dope, dope,
Cuba.
dope. And there was another one that you gave me. Those one you gave me on Friday. Now that's the one I have on constant repeat. Black Star.
Oh, the Black Star Line song. What the name of the song is? The name of the song for real is El Cubano No Sabe. El Cubano No Sabe ni pinga quién es Marcus Garvey. El Cubano No Sabe ni pinga quién es Marcus Garvey. El Lumumba ni Haile Selassie. The Black Star Line. The Black Star Line. The Black Star Line. ¿Quién llegó a Cuba en 1921? Marcus Garvey. ¿Quién es la profecía de Rastaman? Marcus Garvey.
Let's go. Let's go.
Negro, date más un respetón porque siempre estás en Cuba de policía y chivatón. Negro. Yeah. Fire upon them, you know? Yeah, my brother, but I have too much music, too much hip hop, R&B, roots reggae, ska, oh, disco music. I have everything, brother. I have everything in English, Spanish.
And it does disappoint. Well, there's one more joint that I have. This one I haven't heard yet, but I'm gonna go find it. There's this joint that you have with Sizzla and
oh yeah, Sizzla. I can give you the link.
Yeah, Sizzla. I know is I mean Sizzla is Sizzla, so it's no. My man don't even need an introduction. That was part of my Sizzla. Amongst the other artists I tell you behind the scenes, he was part of my dancehall era when I was getting deep into reggae and dancehall music. He was one of the guys that was up there. How did that collaboration came along?
Well, I get that collaboration because when I was in Cuba and I heard Sizzla's the first album, me saying Cuba. One day I have to record with him. I have to do it. I have to. The time passed. So when I was here in Mexico, I was talking with him by line, and he answered to me. And he said, Virgin, let's do it something, man. Let's do something because this is Cuba and Jamaica. We need to unite, you know. And the man said, okay, let's deal with that. So we deal with, you know. He sent me the voice, and we put the voice. And we do the music
like
by line. We made the song by line, but this is the key for one day when we reach Jamaica because we never been in Jamaica before.
Yeah.
When I reach Jamaica one day, I know that I can go there and we start the real thing together in life, you know, for Cuba and Jamaica. And we will make it. And that's why you're there too, because we need it. We need that type of the door in unity. So we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, you know?
100%.
I do my job. So together we mix our job and we will be more stronger.
No doubt. 100%, man.
Moving forward,
man. So, you know, we're about to wrap this thing up right now, man, because we had, you know, one hell of a time, man. We've been talking. We had the internet shut down. We had the imaginary communists after us. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go through my phone and we're going to shoot this shit out. We're going to spread the fucking word, man. So I appreciate this, man. Any final words to the audience and to the people that's listening right now? You know, any final words you want to give out to the people out there before we get out of here?
Any fans?
Any final words? Final words.
Final words. Well, they can follow me Spotify, and all social medias like Ras Cocoman, the Black Panther, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, all social medias, Ras Cocoman, the Black Panther, Instagram, YouTube, wherever. Just the people can put the name and they can find me. And something more that I have to say is that the people have to know that I got the radio station of reggae music of Cuban with the name The Real Reggae School FM, and I have the radio of Hip Hop Cuban with the same name, The Real Hip Hop School FM.
Bet,
Google.
bet. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. And last question. You enjoy yourself tonight? Had a good time?
Of course, brother. I'm so happy when we talk with my mom, family, man. I go and brethren, I'm so happy. This is the moment for Black people in the world. They go to see more and more about you, about me, about all the family that I come with Black Clan TV. Because I am not alone. You are not alone. We are not alone. So we are.
I've learned that.
We are one nation, and the people now, they will open eyes because they see a real Cuban Black man. They say the truth. This is not the old Black Cuban with the communist mentality. No. That time
100%.
done.
100%. Yes.
That
yes.
time done. So happy, so happy.
And you know, Ras, man, I greatly appreciate you taking your time, spreading the truth, spreading the good word, spreading the gospel. You know, continue doing what you're doing. You know, if you need anything, you let me know. I got you on the radio station. Any exclusive, let me know. I'll support it 100%. And you got the Cuban pass. That means anything that's Cuban related, anything with music, you let me know. I'll pump down the radio station. I'll put it on my podcast, social media, whatever you need, man. I got you. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for coming out today on the podcast. I want to send this out before I get out of here, even though I disappeared. I disappeared for a couple of months because, you know, I just needed a mental break to get away from this world. And now I had to get my mental thought straight, like I explained earlier on. But, you know, I appreciate everybody that's been paying attention on what's going on with Cuba and the oppression that goes out there. I will say this, try to have an understanding on where we're coming from with this. If you are not from our community, for the love of God, do not speak about our struggle because it's very disrespectful, it's very dishonoring, and it's a lot of misleading and lies information you're sending out to the people. Another thing is too, I've been, ever since, I'll tell you this, Ras, my mission when I started this was not only to spread awareness what goes on with Cuba, but also what goes on with Black Cubans, because there's been a bad misconception what goes on with Black Cubans, and the perception they give us is that Castro is our white savior because Batista did all these terrible things, and it's been a fucking lie. And that's just something that I've been on a mission on to try to like dismiss that. I've been trying my hardest to kill that, and I will say this: it's been baby steps, but I think I think if we work as hard as we've been doing, we'll be able to kill that mission. I've been very optimistic about that. Also, I want to speak to my fellow white Cubans, because sometimes when I go too deep on my pro-Black shit, it's not the fact that I'm going against y'all. Like, we need each other. I don't care if you're Black, white, Democrat, Republican, Chinese Cuban, Asian, Middle Eastern Cuban. We're all going through the same struggle, and we all need each other. Yeah. And we had a lot of white Cuban allies that have been really on our side supporting us. It's not, I don't want to do a divide and conquer the kind of thing. We do need each other. Sure. But I have to spread this message to talk about our Black Cuban counterparts, because our voice has been the voice of the unheard and the voice that's been silent through the government. So again, like we've been speaking earlier on today, when you hear issue that's going on with Cuba and people complaining, they give you Miami. They give you white Cubans in Miami. They give Republicans. They give you Trump supporters, and they think that's the whole aspect. So when you have the enemy trying to divide and conquer, they think, oh, it's just only the white Cubans in Miami complaining, but the Black Cubans love them, and this and the third. And it's like, no, hold up, don't speak on our behalf. That's what Black Lives Matter fucked up that because they were speaking on our behalf, thinking that, we love the motherfucker and we hate him as much as they did. But they have the access to say how much they hate him.
Yes.
So
but
they have the access. We don't. So all we have was social media. So the things that were beautiful about July 11th, when that happened, a lot of people don't even know this, but when that happened, that was in the Black ghettos. That was the Black Cuban ghettos that started that shit off and said,
yes,
yo, we had enough of that. When you
yes.
you hear songs like Pate Villa, that's Black Cubans saying we had enough of this, and we're gonna lead the charge to say we had enough of this system.
Yes,
so now you can't say, Cubans
but-
in Miami
But
having
something,
an odds with them.
but something that we cannot forget. Remember, I born in a rich city. Another black man that lived in that rich city is because there was a communist that Castro gave the apartment.
Yeah.
Those black man never paid the apartment. Castro gave
Never.
the apartment. That's why they are slaves. So to keep the apartment, if you want to keep the apartment to your future family, there had to be a communist to keep the house,
You
right?
have to be, you have to be a communist. You have to agree. You have to be a communist. You have to
keep
agree
the
to
house.
everything it says. You have to agree to everything they say. The revolution is good. You have to
Yeah.
be their puppet. Everything
Yeah.
they say, you can't be wrong. You have
Yeah.
to agree to them.
Yeah,
So
because-
it wasn't like, here you go.
Because there is more black man waiting for the opportunity to take your house when you start to speak against the
They know.
government.
Yep.
Because they don't have no house. A policeman, they come from Santiago. They most of them they never burn in Havana. They burn in Santiago far. So if they want to be police in Havana, where you gonna live? You got to wait for somebody to go against him to take your house and get you your charretera, get your shit, you're good because le quité la casa a este, le quité la casa al otro porque dijo que en contra del gobierno y le quitan la casa a todo. Entonces, that's the problem when the black man say Castro good. And that's the problem when the white man said to the black man, yo, remember that when Castro was here, before Castro, with Batista, you never get nothing. And when Batista was there, Zafiro was good, black man. And when Batista was there, Bola de Nieve was good. But Benny Moreno was good. All of them was good. And after when Castro come, vino la Aragón, los Bambam, all that shit with communists. And that's what we see now.
Yeah. So 100%, man. Yeah, man. So that's the way we're gonna end it. So yeah, man. Ras Cocoman, man. Muchas gracias, mi hermano. Gracias por todo, man. Gracias por todo. Y no te preocupes, yo hablo español. So mucha gente piensa que no.
Yo me lo imagino.
Porque la gente piensa que no hablo español. Yo hablo español, lo entiendo, lo hablo, lo leo, lo escribo. Pero yo quiero hablar con la audiencia mía americana para que tenga un understanding lo que está pasando con la isla.
Y también para mí me conviene hablar así porque yo lo que también quiero que sepan los negros americanos, que aquí también hay negros cubanos que hablan como americanos y que estamos en talla y que olvídese de eso, que aquí somos los que somos. No somos aquellos que no saben hablar inglés, porque por eso es que han seguido el comunismo, porque no se han encontrado con los negros que leen inglés la verdad.
Claro. Ya tú sabes.
Entonces, ya tú sabes.
Y esa es la misión mía, para hablar a la gente americana, porque ya no quiero hablar español, porque ya la gente que son latinos, ellos saben lo que está pasando.
Eso no
ellos
sirve.
saben lo que está pasando.
Y otra cosa, los latinos, acuérdate, buscan cualquier canal latino donde hay un negro. Ellos son los primeros desgraciados racistas que están diciendo que somos iguales y nunca quieren negro.
Y nunca quieren.
Ellos son los primeros hipócritas y descarados.
O si estamos en la televisión, somos esclavos, o somos jineteros, o una cosa desgraciada.
O si no somos nada de eso, o si no somos nada malo, son los negritos, eso que le dicen los negritos tío Tom, son esos negritos escogidos por ellos para que salgan ahí.
Los pobrecitos.
Uno solo y ya, y después lo desaparecen, duran 3 años y se acabó.
Y ya se acabó. Yeah, you got it. You got it, man. Yes, y'all. So, man. Yeah, man. So with that being said, your boy's back. Shout out to the Ruckus. Shout out to my Ruckus brothers, man. We're gonna get together and we're gonna rock it out with another episode, man. Ras, 100, thank you, man. Whatever you need,
Hey.
granted. I got you, my brother. Salutes.
Oye,
And we're gonna continue on and on, man. We're gonna keep going on to we see a free Cuba and that communist gets destroyed.
yeah,
And
man.
one more thing, man. I said this yesterday because I'm gonna have an interview coming up this Friday. So I said this yesterday when I had my last show. I want to give a shout out to I'll say this again. I want to give a shout out to the state of Florida and all my people in Miami, because ever since I've been doing this podcast and radio thing, all the people in Miami has shown me so much like love, or so much love and appreciation. I'll say it again. All the artists from Fame Music, Alicia, Richie Rich, Raudel showed me so much love. You know, when he pulled up to the podcast with me. There's certain people I can't say right now,
Mira,
but I have a
bro,
certain person
te
that
voy,
can do.
te voy a decir algo, brother.
Claro.
Ayúdame a colocar mi música en todo el país, porque tú eres el único que vas a poner la mejor música de los negros cubanos. Yo tengo todos los tipos que andan conmigo. Los míos los que andan conmigo son los monstruos, Y lo que ha pasado es que si te fijas en Miami, es pura mierda lo que ponen y nada más puro blanquito. Fíjate en Miami. Y entonces el único negro que está en Nueva York es Kid Brown y lo que pone es tremenda mierda y no está para nosotros. Yo hablé con Kid Brown y ya lo eliminé. Yo a Kid Brown lo eliminé. Le dije, Cere, dale. Dale, tú eres negro, perro. Tú no, vete. Sí, porque nosotros necesitamos al negro como tú, así. Vámonos. Que ponga la música de verdad, que hable de los de verdad, porque ya está bueno de Aldo, de Silvito, de la misma basurita. Eso no es hacer. Yo tengo todo aquí, cuando tú quieras escuchar todo, yo te voy poniendo de hip hop y de reggae. Olvídese que ando con los monstruos aquí. No te preocupes por eso.
100%, 100%. And with that being said, before I get out of here, I want to give one more thanks to Grecia. That's a badass motherfucker. Grecia mi hermana, coño. I love that woman. That's my sister to death.
Tremenda hermana.
So because I'm back, so I want to give a lot of thank you to Grecia, Raudel, el professor.
El professor. Albuquerque.
My homegirl Denise and Gigi out in New York. My brother Jordan in Boston. Keel and Yvette. She's gonna kill me every time I keep saying Yvette. She's like, I did some shit too, but Yvette, I love her to the death. Marlene, Spanglish generation, Montana. You guys have been so supportive and so like right in the front line when it talks about the issues in Cuba, and we become, I feel as though we become the new generation. Oh, and my brothers in Boston, Jordan and Alejandro, I feel like we became the new generation, because when the old folks, because you guys are old, when that generation came and, they fought as much as they can, like they gave up because they felt as though we didn't care about what's going on. But July 11th changed so much of that aspect. And, I don't care if I could do my part, whether it's a protest, my podcast, my radio station, my TV show, whatever I need to do to make sure I'm spending that much anything about, I'm there for my people to show that I'm represent. And, again, I said this 2 minutes ago, I don't want to make it a black or white thing, because at the end of the day, we are all Cubans.
I have too much white friends, my brother.
Yeah.
I have too much white friends.
And my dear friend, and before I forget, my dear friend Marlene, every time I had a guest on the show, she became my interpreter to represent their story and help them do the English and Spanish thing. So Marlene, thank you. I love you so much. And everybody else that's down with the struggle, is down to spread the word against the communist system. I'm rocking with you. For those individuals that came in the front line, shout out to y'all. I love y'all.
Yeah, man, just give them, my brother. Something more that we need before go. I have too much friends, white guys that they live in Uruguay, and they are against the Cuban races. They are against everything, and they love the weed, and they will happy to share with you, because we need white man here speaking about the truth, because the white man we see, just white man talking about the same thing. No, they are the same mentality. No. You will see here a Cuban white man talking about the truth, And I have these people with me, and at the same time, I have the black man. And
Yeah.
I have a son with the name Coward, Coade. I'm gonna send it to you. It's like it's with five hip hop with me, five rappers with me in the
My
song.
rappers.
Five rappers. The sound is nice, man. With
Yeah.
the cross is the for me is the number one now because the first one for my city he died. The feel like
Okay.
that. But he was the first producer like Dr. Dre. But now is the cross. For me, cross is like Dr. Dre. So forget it. Forget a B those white man they talk about hip hop. Come on, man.
Let's go.
We
Let's
got
go, man.
everything.
And also, man, shout out to our allies in Venezuela. I know they're going through it or whatever. So Venezuela, we're with you. And oh my God, I'm missing another country. Oh my God, I've been drinking too much.
Colombia.
No,
Colombia.
not Colombia. Colombia's next. So Colombia got their own problems, but oh my God, Venezuela, Cuba, the president Ortega,
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Yes, my bad. Yeah, all my people in Nicaragua, we rocking
Oh
with
yeah.
you.
I have
Yeah.
people from Nicaragua, black man too, from
Yeah.
Blue Fields, you know. I to my friend
Yes,
from Blue Field. I was living in Miami with black from I was living in Miami with black from Nicaragua. Well, we never was living with Cuban in Miami, man. Just black from Nicaragua from Blue Field.
yeah. 100%, man. So yeah, man. All my people are in Venezuela, Nicaragua. We're
Yeah.
rocking with y'all. Shout out to people in Colombia. We try to tell you, you guys didn't listen. So now you're about to see what can happen. So
I have a lot of black family in Colombia.
Colombia, y'all power through that.
I'm going to introduce you my big brother from Spain, black man from Spain. His mother, white Spain, and his father, black Jamaican. He born in Spain. He's the number one leader of all community Rastafarian in Madrid. So you need to talk to him too, man. He's my brother, man.
Yeah.
He's seen too. You need to talk with him, man. We are.
Man, no, we'll do it up. We're gonna talk later on behind the scenes, man. So we got that, man. I know you got your other family member killed.
Yeah, my cousin, Eduardito.
We're definitely gonna have that on, man. So you give me all that material, man. I got you on the radio station, man. We're definitely gonna show that love.
For real,
100%. Yeah, man. So yeah, man. Ruckus, we back out here. Ras, love you, doggy. Respect, salute my brethren. We out here.
We keep in touch. Yeah, man.
Definitely, man. So it's your boy, Keep It Mike. We back in the Ruckus. So you already saw what I gave you here, man. A whole lot of material. So we're gonna catch you the next time. You know, if the laptop ain't working, the phone